B, F to the A-C-K, B, F to the A-C-K, B, F to the A-C-K. I'm black.
We black.
Black.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to
M.A.D.
Melanated,
Animated,
and a whole lot of drama.
So today we are going to be speaking on individuality versus blackness. Okay, guys. So first, I would actually like to start with that there's a difference between ethnicity, nationality, race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with ethnicity, that is people who share the same culture, history, language, and religion.
So we black.
Yeah.
Our culture is black.
Nationality is the nation you come from. American. We're American, right? Yeah. I know. It's hard to claim, but we're American.
Not by choice.
And race, first of all, is a social construct.
It's a social construct.
Race is actually a social construct. It's not real,
Mm-hmm.
but it is the grouping of people based off of their physical features, such as our skin tone,
Mm-hmm.
the way our hair is, the way our nose is,
Mm-hmm.
that's race.
Mm-hmm.
And blackness is pretty much derives from race, obviously.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Obviously, blackness comes from that. Blackness is our culture. What? Why are you looking at me?
When you said that, you sounded like a preacher. Black. I'm thinking like she's giving a sermon.
I just need the organ in the back. Blackness. Yes. Okay. We get it. Okay. So blackness. So blackness is our culture,
Yeah.
right? It's our fashion.
Yeah.
It's our unspoken rules.
Yeah.
Like who made the potato salad, right?
No, for real,
It's
no
like,
raisins.
Like who made the potato salad? Like blackness.
Who all
is,
there?
Who all come in? Who all come in? Who all gonna be there? Because
I'm not popping up.
You know what I mean? So blackness is pretty much our lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Blackness is our lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's our everyday. What we do.
What we do.
Right? It's who we are.
Yep.
And so, like, in your life, I'm obviously, like, how would you see blackness in your life? So pretty much, how would you describe blackness?
It's the experience of living.
Like being black.
Yeah.
Like, to me, right?
Like, to me, it's my experience of being in a collective community of, because I mean, like, when you're like growing up, you may not be as aware of your blackness as you are when you grow up. Now that I've grown up, because now I'm still growing, okay? I'm still growing.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be all right. I feel like in any like stage of our lives, we're still growing.
Yeah.
We're still learning about ourselves and our lives around us.
Yeah, but I feel like now that I'm grown and I'm hearing the other experiences of
From
little
other people.
Yeah, especially little black girls, because the biggest shocker to me, because I swear, I was the only little black girl that my mom put those little balls in their head for church.
Wow.
I swear I was the only little black girl doing that, because I'm like, bro, why are you doing this?
Why?
To me?
Because you were the only black girl who was wearing them?
Yes.
Oh, say no.
Yes.
Good.
I guess they didn't just have them in at that time, you know?
Maybe.
But yeah, that's one thing. I was like, dang. Was like mom sitting in PTA being like, yes, I love that. Let's do that for my daughter's hair. How did we all collectively like have the same?
Because it's generational.
Like,
Because not only do they put it on us, but they put it on our mothers, they put it on our grandmothers. They've been putting it on us,
But it's just like how a community. Like, it's not just like a family. It's like a whole community. So that's just like, it's like interesting things like that. And you can talk to several other black people who are growing up. But like, we have black sayings. Like, you got McDonald's money.
Yeah.
How does every black mama know that?
I ain't want your little friends.
I ain't want your little friends. Like, it's stuff like that.
collectively, we could remember the smell of the hot comb on
Yeah.
our skin.
We
could
the feeling. Okay, my ear is still charred, bro.
Like,
Badge of honor.
You know, we know what the smell of
PTSD, bro.
Yeah, we know the smell of hair grease is. You know what I mean? Like, we know what to do when the lights come on.
You know not to touch anything in the grocery store.
No, because she ain't buying Jay. You know, don't ask her for anything when we walk up in this store.
No.
Like, it's definitely a collective
experience.
A collective experience for real, you know? And so, like, of course we have that, right? We have our Blackness, but it's not all that we are.
No,
like,
it's not.
Yes, we are Black, but...
And we love it.
You know, Blackness is who we are, but it's not all that we are.
Exactly.
So then there's our individuality. You know what I mean? Like, and so that would be how we were raised, how we grow up, what we chose to do in school, what we chose to do outside of school, you know, the clothes we wore and stuff like that. Like building our own identity.
Yeah.
You know, that's our individuality from our Blackness. And so I know for like the longest time, like, okay, so what would you say is like standard Black, right? Like Black, like we have those shared childhood experiences, even though we were all from different regions of the country and stuff. But with that, like, what would you say is like in the Black community, you know, like outside of stereotypes, you know, outside of what other races, you know, perceive us to be, what do you think we perceive ourselves? Because I feel like
as a collective, even though it's a stereotype, we also believe this. Well, not a stereotype, a stigma. Is that we're strong. I mean, look, it's detrimental, but we as a people, it's true. Like, we are strong, and we always find a way through.
And I feel like that's more of a have because we always had to.
Yeah, but I love it.
You know what
I love it. Yeah. Like, one thing I can count on my people, no matter how bad we may be going through it, we gonna figure out a way through. We gonna come out on the other side.
You know what I said? If you're going through hell, keep going.
That's literally us.
That's Black people all day long.
That is literally us.
Keep going through hell, and we just keep.
That's a standard. You know that is a standard to me.
I feel like also like when it comes to like, let's say style and fashion, right? Like we literally started streetwear. Yeah. Literally, Black people started streetwear. Like we are fashion. Well, we are fashion. Come on, we're fashion. But like when we see like fashion for Black people as Black people, you know, there's a way we dress. You know, automatically, like that's just how we dress. That's how the community dresses. Yeah. This, that, and the other. Regardless of like the fashion of the world. Yeah. You know, it's almost like when you go to like different countries, how they dress a certain way. That's their fashion, right? Like, so Black people have a fashion. So when we dress alternatively, like, do you feel like, I personally for the longest time felt like that's not Black, you know? Like for the longest time, being an alt girl is being emo. Yeah. You know, alt, emo, I mean, even things that are like luxury. You know what I mean? Like, like certain things, like if you dress like a valley girl, like you know, like certain things isn't Black. You know what I mean? Like what would you consider not Black? Now, I personally feel like nowadays, though, I feel like nowadays we are finally seeing that Blackness is more than what we see. Yeah, you know what our Black stand, like how the community has always been.
The accepted way from the community.
You know what I mean? Like we're finally accepting, like we still Black, even though I like to wear like elf ears And
look, the folklore people, I love that they're coming out. I love it.
Like, like with the cottage core.
Yes,
I
love that.
That wouldn't be considered black.
Nah,
but I love the academia core. That's not black, But I feel like we're accepting, like, we are black, but our blackness is in everything else as well.
Right.
We could still be black. There is artists out there who are, like, ghetto. They literally consider themselves, like ghetto rock stars almost. Like ghetto.
I know what you're talking
about. Like
ghetto
screamos, ghetto. Like they're literally like alt girls, but they claim being from the hood. You know what I mean,
because my thing is, I fully believe that you can be your individual self and still be in blackness.
Still be in blackness.
Because you're still living your black experience.
Exactly.
No matter what form or thing you take. Yeah.
That's the part for me. Like, we're still living the black experience, So, like, I feel like our individuality and our blackness can coincide.
I definitely believe that, and I feel like accepting that is how we can branch out and create new things. Because I feel like how we became the creators of, like, music and fashion and all this stuff, it's rooted in us expressing our individuality while still accepting and loving and being in our blackness.
In our blackness, yeah. Like, what kind of things do you feel that you're, like, non-black?
I'm a weeb. I will put on a kimono. I have my little, like, thing. I put practicing a geisha walk.
I truly believe, I really need to look at numbers, but I honestly believe full-heartedly, like, no one could tell me nothing other than, like, the Asian culture, mostly Japanese culture, obviously. I feel like black people are the next biggest consumers of anime, just weebs, all the.
I fully believe that.
I fully believe black people are the biggest weebs.
Yeah.
Hell, we could even be more weebs than the Japanese are.
I don't know, because some of them be. Well, I'll take that back, because some of our people be marrying them waifus too. So
they legally, you can legally marry an anime character out there.
I need physical touch. Like, my man getting cosplay as Gojo.
It's gonna have to, bro. Cause but yeah. So weebs. Other than that, like, what else?
I'm from Texas, so
country.
I love my country music. I do. I love me some country music, especially with some line dancing.
I would be honest. I didn't think black people were, like, at least growing up, I didn't think black people were in the country.
Look, in the South,
really didn't.
In the South, we do country. We go to rodeos. We have line dances.
I didn't think it was non-existent.
Yeah.
I just didn't think we were into it as hard as
we have our own. Look, all the line dances that you see the other people doing, they come from us because they ain't got no groove like that.
Oh, they really did.
They ain't got no groove like that. Yeah, I'm actually learning a new line dance called Where Them Fans At. Y'all will be seeing us do it, and I mean us. Okay.
I actually like that song "Get Up." It's from a black man. Get Up. I think it's called Get Up. Get Up. Get Up. Get Up. I'll have to show you.
You have to play it for me because
I'll have to show you.
You could be saying it wrong, and I do actually know it.
Maybe that could be a good chance. When I was younger, so definitely had my emo girl stage. Evanescence all day long.
Like, low key, I feel like every black girl had it, but we had to hide it.
Because I still had to be a thug at the end of the day.
Because look, I know everybody was in their Paramore bag.
Growing
up. I know Paramore's for the black people. You can't tell me wrong. You can't tell me anything. Okay? Paramore, black men, black women, period.
Love Paramore.
If there's a race war, they are we taking that. We taking that. Y'all can have Kanye. We taking it. We taking it. For real.
But another one was Greasers. I don't know if you guys had greasers out here, but we had greasers.
What are greasers? You could be saying a different term for them. What are they?
Greasers.
They
like,
greasy?
No, like Grease. You know the show you know the movie Grease?
Yes.
The greasers.
So, like...
Those greasers?
Like the motorcycle people.
Yeah, so...
Y'all call them greasers?
They're greasers, yeah. What do you call them?
I don't know, but like bikers? Like...
No, what? No, bikers are bikers.
That's
greasers, like, you know, the hair, like, they dress like they're from, like, the freaking 60s, you know?
Oh, we didn't call them greasers. But that's interesting. That's cool. Greasers.
So I was definitely really into greasers.
Oh, so you're greasing your hair like that?
No, the guys did that. No. The guys greased their hair bad, but the girls. Okay, I grew up with. I told you this. I grew up with Spanish.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cause I'm like,
no. Okay, so when I grew up with black people, right? If it's not family or church or the cookouts, I'm only around Mexicans.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I'm only around Hispanics.
And yeah,
you know, I know. Black people could too.
I haven't seen that.
Do you know watch old movies?
You know, I haven't really watched movies like that. Like...
Yeah, but old movies. I know you like old stuff. Well, either or. But yeah, but because I mean, mind you, back then they were permanent hair all day long to make it straight.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
You know, the relaxers.
So the Jerry curl people, you would call those greasers?
No, those are Jerry curls. Jerry curls are different.
Well, I mean, they had the grease in there.
No, I don't think you're understand. I don't think you're separating. I'm not talking about grease, but I'm talking about greasers, like grease lightning, like if you think of the movie Grease, how they dressed, how they were, like white, black, and then the girls who have the pin-up hair.
Yes.
That's like
okay.
Like that's what we call greasers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call greasers. Look, that's what we did back in school. So
that makes sense.
Yes, I was like very much into that, but I didn't think I could, you know, pull it off because I'm black. You know, like no, white people don't do that. You know, kind of situation. It's always like black people don't do this. Black people, like for us in our community, right? Like you look at each other differently if you're not doing the standard black thing,
right?
You know, but I definitely feel
that's not. Well, it could still be a thing, maybe like in school, but because I'm out of school or like I'm an adult now, I don't feel that way.
What do you mean?
Maybe it's because I don't care. It could be because I don't care anymore, but I don't feel that type of way. Like when I'm weeding out with other people, saying.
Like that's
stuff,
not,
I don't feel like I'm being judged or.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So that's where I'm coming to the point. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for the longest time within black culture, like within the black community, I should say, within the black community, there's a standard for blackness, right? Which is what black is. So you can't be this, can't be that. Not you can't be, but that's not. You know, like.
And if you're not that, then
you know you're not black. You know, you ain't black. Like, come on. And it's like because I'm into something. Right. Because me individually, outside of our black culture, is into something. Yeah. Right. So we're automatically not black. You know, jokingly, but it's still kind of like, come on. You know. Yeah. I do feel nowadays, though. Yeah, you're totally right. It's like it's not. I don't even think it's a thing for the kids anymore either.
You don't think so?
I really don't, because my cousins, like I told you, my god sisters, all girls. Like when I showed you the whole cottage core thing, that's Carrington all day long. You should see this girl. She dresses to the T. Alt girl, she's so freaking cute. All people are saying, look how good she looks.
I love that.
No one blinks an eye.
I love
you know what I mean? Like no one. As far as I know,
right? You see,
you know, like, as far as I know, no one really like judges her blackness.
But like, would you tell anybody though? Because like in my experiences,
I feel like now, yeah.
Well, like no, back then, you don't think I'm black? Well, I don't want people knowing
that you're into something.
That I'm into something that other so-called standard black people are saying that makes me a sellout. So do you feel like...
Me personally, I could say no. I could care less. Like, if I like something, I like something. I've always been that way. Like, I never really cared much for people anyways. Like, as a kid, you know, I didn't. Like, I don't now.
Yeah.
But, like, even as a kid, like, if I like something, I like something. I guess I've had where like I said, I grew up with Hispanics. So it's, my blackness was never questioned, like, around friends or in school or something. It was more like we're being bullied for being black.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're the only black people in, like, literally a handful out of the whole entire school.
Yeah.
Literally, like, 5 students in the whole entire school are black, and half of us are family members. You know what I mean? So it was more that, like, it was bullying for being black. It stopped around, like, 7th grade, because at this point we grew up together. Like, y'all, shut up.
Yeah.
But questioning my blackness would usually come from
the family.
Black family, you know, people from black neighborhoods. Like, my cousins who live in Maryland, where it's Chocolate City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, random fun fact, Texas is the home of the largest black population of any state.
Are you surprised?
I want to say no, but I am kind of. You know, I want to say no because when I moved out here, it's my first time being around so many black people on a day-to-day basis. Like, literally day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like, I've never, like, when I say I lived in blackness at church, I mean, in my household, of course, but in church or with family, that was it. The rest of I know Mexican culture next after that, because that's my friends, when I go to their house, their parents, you know, that was the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, so it's usually that. So when I moved out here, I was like, so many black people around here. I was like, there's so many black people. I remember my godmother, she moved to Maryland just before we moved to Texas. And we're like, how do you like in Maryland? How do you like in Maryland? She's like, Chocolate City. And I was like, really? She's like, there's black people everywhere. She loves it. Yeah, but so Texas has the highest population for 4.3 million. Then it's Florida with 4.0, and then Georgia with 3.7.
Of course, it's all the southern states.
That's what I said. I said the same thing.
Because black people don't do the cold. Can we be for real? It's cold as hell right now.
I swear,
we don't thrive in this.
Sometimes I feel like the others don't feel the cold. Sometimes I feel like they don't feel it.
They were built for this. There's a reason why they're like that. It's because, like, they were so far from the equator, you know, they didn't need the pigmentation from the sun. So they evolved to not need it. That's why they look like that.
Forgetting where I was actually, where I stopped before that random fact. I'm a one-track mind person. But going back to something else, because I forgot where I stopped at.
We were talking about our black experiences and, like, what we are as individualists would be deemed as non-black. That's where we were at.
That's right. The whole greaser thing. You don't even know what a greaser is.
Do you know what a buckle buddy is? I digress. Never mind. Don't answer that. Because we'll be on another topic.
Okay. But so going back to, like, black.
Yeah, I love it.
Going black. To, like, black culture, right? Like, that defines our blackness and stuff. You know, we have, like, cookouts.
Manners.
You know. Do have a bit of manners, you know, like, there's a social hierarchy, right, within the family.
Oh, yes.
There's social hierarchy within the family, right? We have cookouts, right? Things like that, things that we grow up to, right? That we've been. Do you feel like that's kind of dying out?
I don't think cookouts are dying out. I think it needs to be gatekept more. Okay, I think we need to stop giving invites to the cookouts. I really freaking do.
More people like. I don't know if it's because I don't like. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I don't. We have like a few of our family members here, of course, you know, that we're with all the time, close to. But I haven't been to a cookout.
Yeah, it's because you don't have family here. I have been to several cookouts just because my boyfriend's family's here, and they do it big. They do it big.
I haven't been to a cookout in a minute.
Like, literally, I want to get a house. I told my boyfriend this. I want to get a house, and I want to be that couple, that host. I want to be that. I love that. Like, I love being a host. I love welcoming everybody in. I love being around, like, our culture. I love it. I like blooming in that and living in that and hearing everybody's stories and experiences, just being together. Then that camaraderie, you know, I love that. And I told my boyfriend I want to be that because I don't want to see that die out. Yeah. To me, it hasn't died out, but I don't want to see it die out.
Definitely. If anything, to me, I feel like we're becoming more black in the sense we're living more in our blackness. You know what I mean? And like I said, with our individuality, I feel like we're accepting that we can be in our blackness while being all girls, selves. You know, country girls, you know, luxury girls, working girls, like you name it, the soft girls, soft boys. You know, when I tell you,
I love me a man that cries.
It's not even just that, but I mean like the style, the fashion, the lifestyle of the soft girl era and the soft boy era. You know what I mean? Because like with that, it's like bohemian and stuff. Like for the part of blackness is our men, and this is more part of with the stigma. You know, our men always have to be strong. Yeah, they can't be soft. Right. You know what I mean? Like our men can't be soft. But I feel like nowadays, once again, we're accepting that we could have this particular individualness, not a word, within blackness. You know what I mean? So, and I've been seeing more black boys living in their black boy joy as an individual.
I love black boy joy.
You know what I mean? They love being weaves themselves. Oh, yeah. You know, they love putting flowers in their hair. One of my favorite videos is, I don't know if you remember the trend of black men frolicking.
Oh my God, that was my favorite trend.
When I tell you it's one of my favorite trends,
literally, that kind of healed me.
You know what I mean? Swear. It healed. That literally it wasn't just our soft boys, you know, our soft black boys. Yeah, you know?
We saw some of our like rugged, men.
You know, construction
patriarch male figures.
Talk about what we're frolicking now. And when I tell you that was the most beautiful thing I have seen.
That was one of my faves. You know what I mean? I would just be scrolling. I'm like, frolic away. Frolic away.
Speaking of that, like, what are some like things that you've seen, like that you would like that's blackness? You know what I mean? Like blackness, like personified blackness, unapologetically black.
The Kendrick Lamar performance, the Super Bowl. We're gonna go more in depth next week, but that was unapologetically black.
Unapologetically,
I loved it.
I love what I also love because nowadays we're starting to be more represented on TV realistically instead of that token black person, you know, instead of the comic relief, instead of the thug, the ghetto girl, right? You know, instead of that, we're finally being represented realistically, right? One of my favorite things is when I'm watching something and because a lot of shows, like you'll see on Grey's Anatomy, right? They talk deeply about the difference between me, like, I'm black, I can and cannot do this compared to you. kind of a situation. But then there's like those other TV shows. One I would like to talk about right now would be on Supergirl.
Mm.
There's an episode on Supergirl on the last season, actually. Yes, so the last season, which I think was season 7. I watched it. At the end of the show, she's at home. The music playing is if I had a son. Do you know that song?
No.
If I had a son, I'll teach him how to breathe.
No.
I have to. Girl, I don't know how you don't know any of these songs. They're so beautifully black. I'll have to sing the song, but that song is playing. If I had a son, and it's her pretty much preparing for the night. It's her fixing up her hair.
Oh, like Viola Davis did in How to Get Away with Murder.
Did she do that?
Literally, after the trial, she took off her wig and then her hair, and she was getting ready. And it's just that black vulnerability.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so she's in the mirror, she puts up her hair, clips it back, she's putting on the scarf. When I tell you it's meticulous, it's literally what we all do.
Yeah.
They don't pan out nothing. We wait for her to put on her scarf. There's some pieces hanging out. She puts it in. When I tell you that little part of the whole thing, like of that whole show, because it was like all this screaming of see us, hear us, we are in pain, we are hurting, our people, like, you're over here trying to fight a villain that y'all don't know where she is, first of all.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna get her, we will, but right now
They need help.
They need help right now. There was all that screaming, but then we get back to, like, it's kind of like showing what black people have to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That silence, that void that we keep screaming in, but we still have to come home and just pull our hair back.
And get ready for
bed. Like, we still have to, and then of course the girlfriend comes home and they talk about it and stuff like that, and it's still really beautiful. But just that, like, to me, that's blackness to me. You know what I mean? Blackness to me is that life. That's something I felt so deeply about because I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I can relate to standing in the mirror, trying to get my hair in, pieces coming out. She literally just putting that piece back in.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Okay, I'm being seen. I'm being seen.
Blackness. Black, and I just absolutely. I just love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I definitely love stuff like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed Blackish.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed Blackish and Grownish.
I didn't watch Grownish. I've only watched a few episodes of Blackish.
I like Blackish a lot because I feel like even though there was so much in that show that tackled what it was like being black, not just like our experience as black, but colorism. Okay, it talked about like a lot of the topics that we talked about. It touched on slavery, it touched on colorism, it touched on individuality because each of their kids like different stuff. It touched about raising black kids. It literally talked about what it was like being a black family in upper class neighborhood, mind you. Like it was really good. It was really good, and I like Grownish too. And that was just for the fun of it. But I enjoyed Grownish.
They say Grownish. I don't know because I haven't seen it, but they say Grownish is like a different world.
Yeah,
so
I can see that. Yeah, it was very much giving those problems.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed both of those. One show that I have on my watches that I haven't watched is Black Lightning.
Love Black Lightning. I haven't finished it, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have it on my watch
love that
list.
rap that Method Man did on that. Let me not mix it up. Method Man.
Confusing that with Supercell?
No. I might be confusing it with Luke Cage.
Oh.
There's a rap Method Man does, and I can't remember if it was Black Lightning or Luke Cage. So good. So
I did actually watch Luke Cage. That was good.
Yeah, and it was pretty much, about black superheroes. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have a little, something. It's really, nothing crazy or nothing. It's pretty much kind of a...
Tune in.
So I was just writing this down because before we do our shows, we always like to do our research. That way we have more to talk about for you all. So we're not just blabbing out of our butts,
Yeah, because experiences and opinions can only
go so far.
Yeah,
we
need to
we want some facts, for what other people think, stuff like that. And I really like this topic a lot because for the longest time, I never separated myself from blackness. I know, a lot of people say that I talk white, which I don't care for that. Like that song
that
says,
pisses me off bad. Or because I was asking what were some anti-black terms, and my boyfriend said proper. I said, why is that a term?
That's so annoying. Why is proper anti-black?
Nah, bro.
What? Because
that made me so mad.
Because to me, that sounds like you're demeaning our knowledge.
Yeah.
You're saying that we can't be proper, that we can't be educated, that we can't speak. Do we have to speak? We don't have to talk with Ebonics every 2 seconds.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's so crazy to me. But so I mean, we are black. We were born black. We live black. We will die black. But our identities go beyond that, right? How we grow up, the things we do, the choices we make, all shape us to the person that we are, and the friends we choose. So I'm look, I'm over here trying to read everything I'm saying. We being in our community, there, of course, as a collective, there's things that we love, there's things that we hate, as a collective, there's an understanding, our unwritten rules, our food, our fashion, our jokes, there's unwritten rules. But I feel that we as individuals can live within that. Look, I'm just repeating the same thing I've been saying. I feel like we can live in our blackness and still be alt girls. I feel like we could live in our blackness and still be weebs.
You want to be an alt girl so bad. You keep saying alt.
I know. True. Am I an alt girl? I feel you are. But I also feel like alt girl. So I feel like there's
categories
of alt, because alt is alternative, right? And so I feel like there's the alt girls, and then there's the alternatives, right? And I feel like alternatives is the country, the soft girl lifestyle, soft boy lifestyle, the cottage core, the academia core, the preppies, prep school, I feel like those are alternatives, right? Bohemian, so that. I feel like I kind of go closer to the bohemian style, which I love, but I would love to be an alt girl because I love that style,
Well, what says you're not? I'm not gonna say I would love to be. I'm saying I am. I am
an alt girl.
Okay, I am an alt girl. I am cottage core. I may not be able to fund my lifestyle right now, but at my core, I am. Okay, I will be wearing one of those dresses from that store.
Yes. So I just want to end it off by pretty much repeating our blackness is who we are, but it's not all that we are.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We are who we are. I am Well, no, wait, that's a different song. Because I was gonna sing Eminem's song, but that's I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would you say I am?
I know I can do what I wanna be what I wanna be.
Yeah.
If I work hard in it, I'll be where I wanna be. I'll be where I wanna be.
I do love the affirmations teachers give their students.
Oh yes,
especially within like those black classrooms and stuff. They give them such cute little
teachers. Hey, teachers!
It's ridiculous the way. That's
another topic. So, like I said, we're doing our black businesses. So, my black business is Pardon My Fro.
That sounds cute.
Right? They have everything.
Okay.
I mean everything. You want a bath mat? You want a blanket? You want a beach towel? You want a pillow? You want a kimono? You want a trench coat? You want a duster?
Okay.
You want a travel bag? You want a tote bag? You want hair care products? We got it.
Okay.
I got y'all jingle, y'all, but no. Pardon My Fro. Yeah, they got it all. Like, they literally got it all. I was like, ooh, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm here for that. Okay, so mine is, I'm going to be pronouncing this incorrectly, but it's Phantom Gem? Because it's DJAMN? AMN?
We'll put the website in the video, y'all. So y'all see it. Y'all see it below right here.
Check that out. But it's Satin Meets Luxury with these head wraps and headbands from carefully and playfully designed with geometric prints and sustainable recycled fabric. These accessories can be used to complement a classy, high-end outfit or can dress up your average pair of jeans while promoting individuality and creativity. So I just love that because just like I said, speaking on our head wraps and stuff like that, just like Blackness is the collective of what we are, of our culture, and head wraps is nothing but.
No, for real.
If you don't know about head wraps, there was a law that kept that told black women to hide their hair because the white women didn't like.
They didn't like it. You know, it was pretty tight.
It was too pretty for them, so they wanted us to hide our hair. And so what we started doing, we hid our hair, but we started making bows and wrapping it.
And that made them mad too.
That made them mad too. We had designs and shapes on them. Like they told us to hide it, and we made it look good.
And then they were like, no. We don't like that.
So yeah, go check them out. They have some beautiful head wraps. Definitely luxury. Because girl, Blackness is luxury.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Go spoil yourself, baby. Go spoil yourself.
Treat yourself. Okay, so my quote is by Snoop Dogg, D-O-G.
Snoop Dogg.
He says, yeah. Well, he doesn't say yeah. I mean, he does say yeah. But he said, be your own leader. Be your own self. Step out of my shadows and be your own person.
Nice. I like that. This one is, I don't know who, this is from a student from, what's the university? From Brock University. A student from Brock University. Because they asked various black students and community members, what does your blackness mean to you? And this particular girl, this is a female, she said, my blackness means that even though I am part of the diaspora, thank you. Because I'm part of diaspora, I'm able to connect to those in some ways around me who are also black, knowing that there's a level of connectivity that we all share. Whether it be food, culture, music, I think it means I can be my authentic self. That's why I chose this, because that's what I truly believe.
Yeah.
I feel like being blackness to me means we could be our authentic self while sharing our collective culture, pretty much.
I love
I'm just
that.
repeating myself 5 billion times, but that's what it makes me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. That includes our episode only 2 more episodes left for Black History Month. So we're going to be having fun these next 2 episodes.